Welcome to another episode of Raising OKC Kids Conversations with Metro Family in Oklahoma City. I'm Kirsten Holder, and today we're talking with Stephanie Pena, the new event coordinator for Calle dos Cinco in historic Capitol Hill. Stephanie has previously managed events for businesses such as Science Museum Oklahoma, the Girl Scouts of Western Oklahoma, Dead Center Film Festival's Glitter Ball, Miss Hispanic UCO, Kind Events, and events for the Hilton Empire. So, Stephanie, we are so excited to have you on the podcast today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Kirsten. It's a pleasure.
Calle dos Cincos in historic Capitol Hill has a long and rich history in OKC, being once slated to be the capital of our city. Located just south of downtown and bordering the Oklahoma River, the Capitol Hill district is growing and thriving like so many other historic pockets in OKC, enhanced with multicultural diversity and city support. This is a place where Oklahoma history and Latino culture come together to create a vibrant, multicultural neighborhood business district. So, what does it mean to you, Stephanie, to be part of such a beautiful gem in a beautiful gem of a district in our metro?
Well, that's a great question, and thank you so much for it. That's what's really cool about Calle dos Cinco and historic Capitol Hill is that it really is this beautiful immersion of the history of our city, right in the central heart of it, as well as the cultural aspects. So, as you mentioned, Kirsten, Calle dos Cinco merge with historic Capitol Hill is really a beautiful thing. So historic Capitol Hill, like you said, it was in existence before Oklahoma had even received statehood, which is really, really cool. So rich and so just amazing to really stay connected to our history. And what's also really interesting that a lot of people may not know is that it wasn't really historically Latino. Up until a couple of decades ago, there really wasn't as much of the Latino community involvement until a couple of decades ago. So it's really cool to kind of marry those. And I'll just say that as far as our office and our initiatives, our leadership, our board, we're really just focused on family oriented and family centered events, and really just focused on our communities and supporting our small businesses in the district and that sort of thing. So we're not necessarily catering to a specific ethnic culture. Of course, we're showing the beauty of the diversity in our communities, but it is a great opportunity to introduce non-Latino community members with the Latino community members, and just kind of getting to marry some of our events surrounding that beautiful immersion.
Well said. And if you have ever been down to this district, you get a feeling for what you just said as well. There is such vibrant diversity throughout the district. You have some signature events that really bring those things out. But you're right, both Latino and non-Latino families, there's something for everybody down in your area. So I'm so excited. So what a time to start a new job. And a new job in events at that. Much of last year and this year too has unfortunately been consumed with thoughts of the pandemic. Capitol Hill is known for these vibrant and festive and family friendly events, like we just mentioned, one of them being Fiestas de las Americas, OK Scene Latino Film Festival, Miss Fiestas de las Americas Scholarship Pageant, and so many other family favorites. Last year, the annual Fiestas de las Americas was held virtually. Like so many other events, we had many events that were held virtually as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your pivot decisions, what still made it special this past year, how people were able to enjoy it, and how it turned out?
Absolutely. Well, as everyone knows, those are really difficult decisions to make because we want to continue to provide the programming that our audiences are used to, and always want to grow them and make them, even more relevant and even more fun and engaging, but certainly faced with challenges. I think that the silver lining that presented itself and continues to present itself as we move forward in sort of hybrid ways of virtual versus in-person programming, is that we are able to reach a broader audience with the virtual platform, which is really, really exciting. Folks that maybe would not have been able to engage in person were able to enjoy some of the content that we were able to bring online. So that really is the silver lining. both with, well, like you said, with all of our events, particularly with the OK Cine Latino Film Festival that we're currently in this season right now. And I hope you don't mind if I go ahead and just kind of share a little bit about that.
Please do,
Um,
yes.
yeah, so the OK Cine Latino Film Festival is happening right now. So essentially, it's happening April 23rd through the 25th. But we actually really start those festivities the beginning of March because we engage a film institute for high school students, which is a particular passion of mine, both professionally and personally. So it's really hard to not be super excited about it. So forgive me if I just ooze with energy on it, because I just love it. So the OK Cine Latino Film Festival is in its 7th year. We're celebrating our 7th year. And then the Institute is in its 5th year. The festival itself really was a project, a passion project of Tango Public Relations, and the leadership within Tango and Tango's relationship with our district, Calle dos Cinco, and with very, very strong community partnerships such as the Dead Center Film Festival. So at that time, for instance, I was the Latino liaison for Dead Center Film Festival's advisory board. So I got to play a role in that capacity, which was really exciting. And now to be able to play a greater role in this capacity is super exciting. So champions like Lance McDaniel, Kim Haywood, really helped us. Our festival director, Rogelio Almeida, is a genius, an award-winning filmmaker. In fact, my first interaction with Roy was over 10 years ago when he was showcasing one of his award-winning films on a national platform. So I work for the largest Latino civil rights and advocacy organization in the nation. Roy and his team were presenting a film on an international platform in that regard. So I kind of knew him as a filmmaker there. And then, of course, us being Oklahomans and have continued to be able to work together here. But anyway, back to the festival, we just really wanted to provide an opportunity for Latino filmmakers in the state of Oklahoma to be able to get film education, promote their work, learn more about opportunities to make films here in the state of Oklahoma and bring them to broader audiences. And that's exactly what's happened. We've had over 100 films submitted over the years. I mean, those numbers just continue to grow. The films that are submitted to the festival are from all over the world, from South America, Mexico, Central America, obviously throughout the state. We, of course, focus on and try to highlight those Oklahoma Latino filmmakers, which we have a great number of, producing quality content that we're very proud of. And one special component of the festival is our student filmmaking piece, and which leads me back to the Student Institute. So the OK Cine Latino Film Institute is for high schoolers ages 14 through 18 in Oklahoma, here in central Oklahoma. And we've been really lucky because this whole month of March, we were able to provide safe, social distanced film education for these high school students. And now they're in the editing process. So that's very exciting. And so we filmed a movie last weekend, and you will see it April 23rd through the 25th. It will be a part of the festival. So proud of these kids. These kids get hands-on experience from script writing to editing to, of course, the actual filmmaking itself behind the camera. It is all student led. Every single student gets a chance to do every single thing. So for instance, last Saturday, in one moment there a student was being the script supervisor, and then they shift from their role to cinematographer to first assistant director. Like, they get to try on every single hat, which is just amazing. And it's a great experience too, because some kids come into the program and they're like, I don't have any interest in on-camera work. I'm shy, or I only am interested in, behind the camera. But it's so great to see all those different roles and have an appreciation for them because they get, that hands-on experience. So all of these things to say, we're very excited to present amazing programming for this year's festival. The films themselves, as well as Q&A with the filmmakers. We have a special focus on gender, on, again, Oklahoma Latinos, all those kinds of things. The analytics of Latino filmmakers that we've been able to share with our audience is really amazing. 0 to 4% of filmmakers are Latino. 0 to 4%. It's a pretty
Wow.
incredible number. So we are trying to do our part to change that here in the state of Oklahoma with this festival. And as you know, Oklahoma's Film Festival is booming. We are, Hollywood here in the heartland, and Gallo Cinco is just trying to put the Hispanic in the Hollywood in the heartland, and just really play our role in that. We've been very lucky to have strong partnerships from our Oklahoma film community, and we're honored to be a part of that landscape.
Whenever people come from out of town, I always say that Dead Center is the best kept secret. And I'm so glad that you all have started this initiative and especially kind of bringing in young filmmakers. It's hard to get started in this. Like you said, kids especially face stage fright, confidence issues. Giving them this opportunity, teaching them these skills will not only last them maybe into some careers, but just to be proud of their work. I mean, there is something to be said for that. And it sounds like your passion is shining through. I know it's contagious for me, so I can only imagine how these kids are feeling as well. So tell me a little bit more about the OKCNA Latino Youth Institute. You talked about the involvement in the film festival. They serve students throughout the state, ages 14 to 18. It's a great opportunity for kids to get started and it's very accessible. Can you just tell us a little bit about, if we have listeners that have kids in that age range that they'd like to get involved in something like this, how can we get started? How can parents support it? Let's talk a little bit about it in that regard.
Absolutely, and thank you for asking. And we really need the support from everyone, from parents to our community business partners, and again, we to continue the support that we're receiving from just the Oklahoma film community in general, which we're so grateful for. It is for kids 14 through 18. And what's really cool is that because of our partnerships with Dead Center and the Oklahoma Film and Television Academy and other just strong partners, we're hopefully able to sort of cultivate the interest and give some baseline education to our students for them to continue their education, just like an ongoing, professional development type of situation with those education programs as well. So that's really great. We don't want it to just be episodic. I mean, we're grateful that the kids can engage on any level, but we want them to continue their education, whether that's through, a free program like Dead Center Academy that happens in the summer in conjunction with their festival, or through other educational opportunities. As you know, OCCC has one of the best film programs in the state of Oklahoma. OU has a strong program. I mean, so many great, Oklahoma Film and Television Academy, just so many different great opportunities. We want our kids to continue to do that. And then also as an institute, we are working on taking our programming, not just within this festival season, but trying to do an additional summit during the summer. And so, yeah, just kind of continue those opportunities. One of the other challenges that we're really happy to help our kids work through is maybe whether it be for themselves or for their families, we don't want them to feel limited by language. So if they feel like, a little bit less confident because maybe English is their learned language, we want them to feel completely confident that they can create film in the tongue that they're the most comfortable with, as well as, receive any support that they need in terms of promoting that film or just continuing to work with the overall film community. We want to be a liaison for that in every capacity that we can. But absolutely, anyone who is interested in the program, and again, if you weren't able to join us this past spring, there are future opportunities for sure. We're only going to grow, especially as we're able to open our doors even more next year. They can engage us on social media. It's just OKCine Latino Film Festival. We're on every social media platform. And yes, just for parents to know that we're here. We're here for the kids. Again, really the overall objective of this program is to bring Latino film education to communities that maybe wouldn't have already had access to that or known about the access to such great opportunities. So please join us. And we need our business partners support too. I'll say one final thing on this topic. As we watch our film grow and boom, which we're so excited to support, we want to make sure, along with our fellow partners, that we're able to provide quality work, quality production assistants and camera positions and actors and every role to those productions who are choosing to engage the Oklahoma Film Rebate, to come here and film. We want to provide the best talent in front of and behind the camera. So that's one of our main objectives, is to make sure that they're getting the best on their set. And we want to help, make sure that our kids are equipped and educated and have that experience to be able to join in and make the filmmaking experience the best for everyone.
How timely is that too? I mean, with the downtown convention center building up, with Cox turning their way toward more of a filmmaking space, you guys are going to be right in line to be providing those opportunities. I'm so glad that we're able to talk about that. And I know we're going to have some readers and listeners interested in that. So thank you. One more question about the OK Cine Latino Film Festival. You're in your 7th year, as you mentioned, and this year you are honoring a very special Oklahoman with the Festival Padrino Award, which I've come to learn has been created especially for him. And I think everyone that hears this is going to be really excited. So tell us your honoree and the significance of this award.
Absolutely. Our honoree is one of my favorite humans ever birthed, Lance McDaniel. So if anyone has been around Oklahoma City for any amount of time, they know that Lance McDaniel is Oklahoma City's treasure. He is, as you know, one of the most talented and most generous individuals, a gift to the world. Of course, we know that Lance led as executive director of Dead Center Film Festival for over 10 years. And of course, is an independent filmmaker, has done dozens of films, as an Emmy Award winner. I mean, his credits just go on and on. He worked on the Oscar award-winning $1 Million Baby. He's just such a treasure and a wealth of knowledge. And such an advocate for film education and for filmmaking opportunities for all, whether those are young filmmakers still in, high school, or whether they're emerging filmmakers that are my age or somewhere in between, and that sort of thing. Lance played a very influential role in helping launch the OK Cine Latino Film Festival 7 years ago. So he really lent his expert knowledge and support in many, many ways to the festival, like I said, 7 years ago, and has continued to be a strong encourager and support as the festival has grown by leaps and bounds. So for anyone who's unfamiliar with the term padrino, padrino basically means like the godfather, or like that revered uncle, someone close in your family who just loves on you and helps guide you and is a support to you. And that is who Lance is to us as Calle Dos Cinco and Historic Capitol Hill, as leadership of OK Cine Latino. That's who Lance is to us. So we wanted to honor him with that title. And he has been so gracious to just engage us on so many levels, and really just support the festival, in every way that he possibly can. He brings so much value. So we're honored to have Lance with us as our padrino this year, and just continue to support the festival. And we're going to be giving him a special award, physical award that we'll see. You'll see on social media and that sort of thing, as well as you'll get to catch behind the scenes interviews and that sort of thing with Lance directly during the festival itself, April 23rd through 25th. I'll say one final thing about the festival. In this context, we are lucky to be able to just have a virtual streaming platform for the festival. So if you go to OK Cine Latino Film Festival, like I said, just search that anywhere online or contact me directly. The festival itself is 3 days. There's many ways to engage, whether it's an individual ticket or whether it's a whole weekend pass, which is a great deal and totally the way that I would engage it. And what we've learned from other festivals that we've been involved in is, get your pass, get your tickets, and then engage when you want to. You don't have to show up at 7 o'clock to watch the feature narrative. You can watch it at 2 a.m. if you need to, or whatever that looks like. As we know, that's a great way to just engage virtual programming, is at your convenience within your schedule, but you're able to watch all the films and that sort of thing. So yeah, so catch that extra programming as well, like I said, with filmmakers and greats like Lance McDaniel, our judges, the filmmakers themselves who are winning awards all across the world, not just the country. So you'll want all that extra content. So come join us.
We talked about silver linings of the pandemic earlier in this interview, and that is truly one of them. I mean, our audience, our listeners, our parents, and set times, especially that 7 o'clock hour, just doesn't always work with bedtime and dinner and bath and all the stuff you're doing in between there. So I have been very appreciative of virtual streaming and on-demand options, like it sounds like you all are offering, and we will be tuning in, whether it's 2 a.m. like you said, or it's closer to the start time. It's nice to have those options for flexibility for busy families. And you, I mean, your love for Lance McDaniel is shown through, and that cannot be understated. The McDaniel family in general has done so much
Yes.
for our metro, and we are so lucky to have them. It sounds like
The
the
whole family, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just the whole family obviously have been advocates for education and just opportunity at every level, for the state of Oklahoma. Obviously, Lance's dad, being such a visionary and change maker in higher ed. My father retired as being the highest ranking Latino in education for the state of Oklahoma. He was the vice chancellor for the state regions of higher ed. So I was able to be introduced to a lot of those change makers who were diversity loving and just student loving, family loving, in terms of their initiatives. And of course, yeah, the whole McDaniel family, his brothers, I mean, just, are just treasures. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. So, speaking of upcoming events, next week is already the start of May, which I just cannot believe, which means Cinco de Mayo is coming up. In addition to the fun ways of celebrating Cinco de Mayo, how can non Latino families observe this holiday as a way to learn more and appreciate Latino culture and traditions? We'd love some tips from you.
Yes.
And then we'd also love to know why you believe it's important that we take time to learn more about cultures other than our own.
That is such a great question, Kirsten. Thank you for asking. So, a couple of different things. I do think that as I'm sure you have a lot of conversations about education, as a huge part of what your mission is about, and it being a priority of ours as well. It is ultimately the responsibility of our parents and caretakers and just the adults in our kids' lives to make sure they get a comprehensive view and understanding of history. And I love that. I feel like those conversations are continuing to grow, and I just love that. In Oklahoma, Latinos, obviously we have so much history to share. On a global, from a more global view, Cinco de Mayo is an opportunity for families to have the conversation that Cinco de Mayo is actually not Mexican Independence Day. It's not Mexico's independence from Spain or any other, European influence and that sort of thing. It's about the Battle of Puebla. And so what's very cool, so a couple of things I'll mention in response to this. Something we're very excited about is that one of our official Cinco de Mayo events is actually taking place at Scissortail Park. So of course, we're just supporting them as a sponsor. As a partner, at Scissortail Park on Sunday the 2nd. So of course, right before Cinco de Mayo, festivities start at 1 p.m. I believe music starts at 2 p.m. And what's really, really cool, we're so excited about, is that over 100 students will actually be performing a reenactment of the Battle of Puebla. So
Wow.
great history opportunity for,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely, for our kids to come out and learn about, and adults. There's always things to learn. We're students of life always. So it's a great opportunity to really experience the historical piece of Cinco de Mayo is that Sunday before. And then what's really cool is that, they can engage on that Sunday in Scissortail Park. And by the way, the leader behind that is Robert Ruiz, our dear friend, and we are grateful for his leadership, especially in bringing the educational component to the event, as well as, of course, fun. There'll be headlining bands and all kinds of wonderful things. And then on actual Cinco de Mayo, on that Wednesday, come out to Calle Dos Cinco in historic Capitol Hill and join us. We're going to be doing a couple of different things. So in late afternoon, we want you to come out and visit our district businesses. We're going to do basically like an open house. Come, get some tortillas, get a coffee, look at our graphic design companies that are out there, Grill on the Hill. So many different business partners. Come get to know us as a district and the services goods and services that we offer. Come talk to business owners and that sort of thing. So that'll be at the tail end of the day. And then join us for an early evening concert that will be there in the district. And we're very, very excited about that. So the show itself is by an award-winning performer, and will showcase basically those favorite Latin songs, maybe even some songs that you may not know the title to, but you know how to move to it. You've heard it out and about, and you're like, oh yeah, I know that song. We want you to just come out, dance, enjoy the music. It's family friendly, of course. Bring the kids, bring everyone out, enjoy an early evening concert with us. It will be around the Yale Theater area, and there'll be more details to come, but just come out to the district, join us for late afternoon, and then stay for the early evening concert. So that's what we've got going on during Cinco de Mayo. And again, the district is for everyone. And one of the goals of kind of centering around an open house theme is for the community to get to know us. We have a volunteer program that is called Friends of Calle Dos Cinco. And so it's a great opportunity to learn more about the specific events that we do so that you can find a place to land. If your gift is in registration, or your gift is in feet on the ground, or, obviously we all have so many different gifts. This is a great opportunity to learn about the different programs that we offer and events that we do so that you can find a way to plug in, whether you are a resident there in the Capitol Hill district or a neighbor. We have strong relationships with our other districts that we love, love, love. And we love to support them, and we appreciate their support. And they have been so supportive.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great way to just kind of be introduced to all the vibrant businesses that are down there, and all the vibrant programs you're offering, and especially these, kind of mid-spring, early summer outdoor concerts before it gets too hot. I mean, it
Yes.
sounds like a great time to me, especially since
Yes,
we've all been inside staring at our own four walls. Might as well go out and experience something like that, like an outdoor concert.
absolutely.
So, some of the other annual events you offer, let's see, I'd love to talk about Fiestas de las Americas. You host a pageant in conjunction with that. And I can't imagine, it probably wasn't easy for the contestants of this pageant to perform all their duties during this crazy year that we've all lived through. So, Teen Miss Fiestas de las Americas, Adriana Jeanette Velez Fernandez, and Miss Fiestas de las Americas, Caitlin Melgar, have been seen throughout the community and throughout your social media pages, proudly representing their titles and the Capitol Hill District. Can you tell us about some of the events and initiatives they were able to support safely this past year?
Absolutely. So these girls are incredible. So I have a long history with pageants. I'm actually a part of the Miss America organization, and helped start. I didn't start it, but joined in early in on the Miss Hispanic UCO. And so I have a real heart for scholarship pageants. And so I'll just say briefly that any opportunity I get to attach myself to scholarship programming, I really welcome, because it is so much more than people know. If you haven't been in the scene, it really is about cultivating, public speaking skills with these young ladies, helping them develop their platforms, leadership opportunities that, as you know, only continue to serve them in the business world and in their, adult lives and that sort of thing. So very passionate about those. Our two young ladies, like you said, Adriana and Caitlin, could not be finer ladies. They are so brilliant, so giving, and so engaging. What's really been cool, and especially now as the world is opening up more, you'll continue to see and hear more and more from them. In fact, they're having a social media takeover day really soon. So they are engaging their speaking opportunities and other visibility that we're very proud about. Caitlin just this past weekend was a part of a recognition event for educators and that sort of thing. Both of the girls were involved in our Cine Latino Film Festival programming with our students and that sort of thing. And you'll continue to see them. One of the most exciting things that I'll just speak on briefly that Caitlin has been doing is, so Caitlin's passion is really helping educate our community about the accessibility to transfer from community colleges to universities. There is absolutely a path there, and she wants to kind of help educate our communities about the accessibility of that path. Not only do we want everyone to think about, continuing their education in general, but also that there is a path from community college to university. So one of the projects that Caitlin has been working on has been cultivating those scholarship and fundraising initiatives. And what's really amazing is that one of our other community partners, the LCDA, which is the Latino Community Development Agency. For anyone who might be unfamiliar, please check them out. They're doing great work. The LCDA is actually matching funds. So whatever Caitlin and her team is able to bring to the table in terms of those fundraising efforts, LCDA will match in scholarship form. They've really stepped up to the plate to help not only provide like one big scholarship, but provide multiple scholarship opportunities for contestants in general, for just participants, because they see their efforts and they see and recognize that these girls are just trying to, create and walk through even better, bigger and better opportunities for themselves so that they can be, they are our future leaders and that sort of thing. So we're very excited about all that Caitlin is doing there. Again, if anyone wants to partner in and help, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to connect you. But we're so proud of these girls and just the leadership that they bring as young Latinas, as Oklahomans. They're doing great things. Just super proud of them. And again, like you said, making the best of sort of the virtual opportunities, and now from hybrid to finally in person. We are excited to offer an in-person pageant this year in September, which will precede the October 2nd Fiesta de las Americas day of festivities, which I know we'll talk more about, but the pageant will precede that. And so we're very excited.
Oh, great. I mean, so how many of us as adults can say that we've paved those leadership opportunities for the next generation? And here's Caitlin, a young person, a shining star truly for the rest of our future, providing opportunities and paving roads for many of her peers even. And that is very impressive. And I'm so glad you told us about that matching scholarship. That is outstanding. That is really
Absolutely.
something to be proud of. But I actually do want to get into the Fiestas de las Americas.
Yeah.
Many of our team members here at the magazine, and I know everyone else that is listening, we're all excited to be getting back to normal. And so I'm so glad that starting this fall, you guys are going to be hosting that in-person pageant and Fiestas de las Americas, your cornerstone event. Can you tell us about what we can expect at that event this year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fiesta de las Americas is our cornerstone event. It is our big, beautiful baby. Fiestas has been going on for now, over a decade. I mean, we're just so proud of it. And, from major entertainment, all day long entertainment, to vendors. We have a beer garden, we have a kids zone, we have all different kinds of opportunities for merchants, to encourage our thriving, growing entrepreneurs, which we can also talk a little bit more about in just a second. But there's literally something for everyone of all ages, from our little bitties to our older adults and everybody in between. It's just such a great opportunity. Like I said, everything from the artist market to again incorporating elements of the pageants, over 50 floats that are involved, and we're just so excited to be able to show our community what a beautiful, vibrant, and diverse community we are amongst Latinos. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but we're not just Central Americans, not just Mexicans and Guatemalans, but, South Americans and all of that. And so for me, that's one of the outstanding sort of highlights of Fiestas, is to kind of get to show our community that there are so many different communities within the Latino community here in the state of Oklahoma. And I think that we don't always get to see that. And so I think it's really, really beautiful. So many different dialects and so many different types of dance. I'll just briefly say this. One of the films that we're featuring in the festival is a film called Finding Carlos, and it's Lance McDaniel's latest film. And within that film, he featured many, many genres of dance under the leadership of Hichapu from UCO and Adelita Hernandez. And what's really cool is that those dances, those performances within the film are all represented by different sections, regions, and states within, different ethnic communities. So for instance, there might be a Mexican folkloric piece that's from a very specific part of Mexico. And so it has a very specific, costume and sound and, these different kinds of things. So what's really beautiful is to use that as an example. Those are the kinds of performances, along with many, many others, that people can experience on that stage at Fiestas de las Americas and see, wow, I didn't realize there were so many, even within just Mexico. Or we have a strong Guatemalan community, a strong Colombian community. Marty Rickman is one of our leaders in the community. Hilda, we've got so many different beautiful, diverse Latinas and Latinos here in our state who are, really representing their individual communities very well, and then coming together with us to collectively, showcase those things. Same with food, same with, our vendors, our markets, and getting to just experience all the beautiful diversity within our community. And I just always think that that's such a great opportunity. And also, you don't have to have any baseline knowledge or affiliation with the Latino community whatsoever. You can be just a fan of the Grill on the Hill and Historic Capitol Hill, and we would love to, engage. Again, our businesses are so supportive, our graphic design, our, so many different community members. So it's just a great way to experience the whole district and learn all about us. Through the parade and through all the different activities, people can walk around and just get to know us even geographically, as well as, as far as the programming piece of things.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know this is an event that my family's especially looking forward to this year. My little boy is 2 and he loves music, he loves dancing, and he likes tortillas too. So we're going to
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well, please go by Lupita's. So I am now a regular there. I literally come in and they're like, are you here for your weekly tortilla order? And I'm like, yes. They have vegan options. They've got every kind of option. They're amazing. We love them. And their tortillas are delicious. And obviously I have a pretty high standard. So they're great. They're great.
I heard it from you. It must be good. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. So this last year, we've talked about silver linings. We've talked about some of the challenges and the pivot points. But I do know it was especially hard on some locally owned businesses, including some of those that are in Capitol Hill District. Can you tell us what is inspiring you and giving you hope right now in the midst of all the chaos that's gone on this past year?
Absolutely. It's the people. It is the people. One of my former boss and very good friend who I continue to work with in other capacity, Kent Stephen Myers, who is vice president at Humankind Hospitality. He always used the phrase, it's not a party without the people. And that's absolutely true from an event production standpoint. But what's really cool is that it really is the heart of the people that drives us. It's not just them showing up, although we appreciate their physical presence and their online presence as well, but it's really the heart behind it. And our district was no stranger in being able to experience the heart of the people. So a couple of different ways that people really showed up for our district was, people would come and patrons would come visit Grill on the Hill and leave $100 tip. Folks would come into La Confeccion, our beloved bakery, and they would buy an entire basket full of goodies and send it to frontline workers here in the Oklahoma City metro area. People would come into, again, just other businesses and just order in bulk, make large orders, send them to people, or, like I said, feed their employees or whatever it is, and just continue to engage in ways that they could. And we're so, so grateful at the value that our patrons were able to show our business district and just our community in general, by continuing to engage services and purchasing goods. And we look forward to that continuing to happen as we continue to provide programming and support and all the reasons to come visit us as a district.
Awesome. Yes, I love those stories of humankind showing kindness to all humans, and that those are stories we don't hear enough of. So I appreciate you sharing some of those things. I agree, that's what we need to hang on to give us hope right now. So that is just beautiful. Is there anything else we left out that you'd like to share with us today?
Just that, we are a district for everybody. Like I said, just for everyone of all ages, our mission is to just provide a safe and fun and engaging place for kids of all ages. Bring your family out, get to know us. Please contact me individually. I'll treat you to a coffee. I would love to just get to know. And again, we are just so grateful for all of our support from the fellow districts. Fellow major events that we all know and love, and that I'm sure that from your platform you're able to share about. We're just excited to be able to partner with. We're all excited, like you've said a couple of times throughout the interview. We're all excited to be moving forward in, like I said, maybe it's more of a hybrid event right now, but really getting back into the event world. We're all excited, and so we're just here for that. So, but yeah, please just come and engage with us, get to know us, come to our open house. We do a few different events throughout the year, 5 to 7 events throughout the year. And so even if it's a thing where, you can't spend the whole day with us, or, there are just different events that are more within sort of your lane or your, area of comfort, we're here for all of it. I'll mention one last item, which is that we are so excited to launch a brand new event from our district starting the first Saturday in June. It's called El Mercado. And so it is a market, and people can come out, our patrons can come out and engage our different entrepreneurs. We really are very passionate about cultivating and growing and nurturing our small businesses, as I know many districts are, and we love to support those. And so this is an opportunity to come out, visit. Selva will be selling their beautiful plants, their gorgeous, gorgeous works, and other vendors. If you're interested in becoming a vendor for that event, please let me know. But yeah, just come on out. It'll be kind of like a pop-up marketplace type setting on Saturdays, starting in June. So that'll really be a summer focus for us. And then you'll already kind of be familiar with us by the time Fiestas gets here in the fall, because you will have joined us on Saturdays. But yeah, it's called El Mercado. And so that launches the first Saturday in June. So like I said, something for everyone, whether it's just a Saturday morning thing or an all day thing, or come to the pageant, but something for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm excited about that as well. Make sure you read about it on your website. Let's see, we can find you at www.historiccapitolhill.com or on social media at Calle dos Cinco. You're on all the social platforms. If you have a student that is interested in getting involved in OKC NA, Stephanie, would you give us your email address one more time for those parents interested?
Absolutely. It's events at historiccapitolhill.com. And it's important to note that capital is with an O. I do a lot of other work with this capital with an A, but this is capital with an O. So events at historiccapitolhill.com.
Beautiful. Thanks again, Stephanie, for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and join us next time on Raising OKC Kids.